let's first deal with this. I'm going to call an audible. So all Senate Democrats voted against your amendment to stop the Biden White House from letting illegal migrants overseas use the CBP One app to fly directly out of their home countries into the U.S. And Senator Patty Murray, a Democrat, is saying, well, you know, the lines are too long at the ports of entry and at the border, so just fly them right in when Americans have to use their IDs at U.S. airports?
It's shocking. They all voted, every single Democrat. Of course, they waited till 1:30 in the morning on Saturday morning till we brought this forward. But every single one of them in lockstep voted to continue to use taxpayer funds to do this. Just last year alone, Les, 320,000 illegal migrants used this program for Joe Biden to fly them into the interior of the United States. Now they don't have to cross the border. He just flies them right over the border. We've tried to get information about where these people are actually going, where they're being resettled. Of course, the Biden administration is staying mum. But I can tell you this, there's a motive behind all of it. And exactly 2 weeks prior, I was able to get every single Democrat in the Senate again on the record stating that we should count these illegal migrants for the purposes of allocating and apportioning congressional seats and electoral votes. You know, we don't count people that are here on vacation. We don't count diplomats that are serving here. Why in the world will we count people that come here illegally? Yet that's exactly what the Democrats want to do. This is about power. This is about backfilling in blue states where they're losing population. You think about it, New York, Illinois, California. The sanctuary cities are located right there, Manhattan, Chicago, Los Angeles, San Francisco. It's obvious what they're doing. It's more obvious than ever now to the American public. This is no longer a conspiracy theory. This is an outright conspiracy to flood the nation and change the electoral pool here in America.
So that would be the equivalent of 13 House seats, right? With the number of illegal immigrants coming in. Was that it?
Just since Joe Biden came in. Just the 10 million that Joe Biden has let in on his watch. That doesn't count all the other people that are here illegally, but that's what he's been doing and directing. That would be the equivalent of 13 congressional seats. And by the way, that would also be 13 additional electoral votes. And if you think about the control of the House of Representatives right now, it's going to get down to one person. This really matters. Okay. And if you think about how close some of our presidential votes have been, it matters.
It just feels so unfair to people who came here legally, did it the right way, to American citizens who pay taxes. You and I have talked about this. This is representation without taxation. You know, this story, ISIS terrorists took responsibility for that massacre in Moscow. They murdered reportedly at least 139 people, wounded more than 140 by shooting at them at a Moscow concert hall. The suspects showed up in court showing signs of severe beatings. But I want to get to this point. Politico is reporting White House insiders say President Biden and his White House team no longer feel the same sense of urgency to press forward on any executive action to stop the border crisis, but at least 1,600 terrorists were caught crossing since fiscal 2020. Why are they not have their hair on fire about this?
I think it's because they're not having media coverage on the issue. They ramped up the media coverage before their fake border security vote. And that wasn't a border security bill. It was just a talking point for the Democrats to say that somehow they supported border security. Joe Biden has had the ability through executive order for the entirety of his 3-year term. In fact, he used executive orders to come and destroy the very successful policies that Donald Trump had put in place to secure our southern border. Biden is the one that did away with the migrant protection protocols. He did away with building the wall. Catch and release he's brought back. It's just amazing what he's done. And then now, because the media stopped covering it, they're not going to do anything about it.
Well, let's listen to U.S. Senators Tom Cotton and Senator Marco Rubio warn about this. Watch this.
You don't even have to sit on the Intelligence Committee and have classified intelligence. You can just listen to what the commanding general of our force in the Middle East said, that in as little as 6 months you could have an attack like this. And again, it turned out to be 6 days. He said it might be a little bit longer to project that kind of attack against the American homeland or the Western Hemisphere. So I'm deeply worried that ISIS from Afghanistan will end up targeting Americans sooner rather than later.
ISIS-K, ISIS-Khorasan is largely the Afghan wing of ISIS. It's reconstituted itself, as we warned would happen when we had this disastrous withdrawal from Afghanistan. I think we should be very concerned, as the FBI director confirmed to me, that there is a trafficking network out there that specializes in moving people. They do it for profit, moving people and migrants around the world, including across our southern border, who have links to ISIS. I think common sense tells you if they run a trafficking network of people, they would most certainly use it to move operatives into the United States. If they could do what they did in Moscow in the United States, they would do it in a heartbeat. They want to do it.
They want to do it. They want to do it. I mean, we're just a generation after 9/11, and this White House collapsed the border, where we have 1,600 terrorists caught crossing. The senior leader of the notorious and violent MS-13 gang, he's on the FBI's most wanted list. He was just captured at the California-Mexico border just a few weeks ago. He was more than 3 years on the run. And then you also have home invasion gangs out of South America, now reportedly in 25 U.S. states and half the country. They're coming in and they're stealing. They're all through California. They're on the West Coast. They're on the East Coast and the Northeast. They're going into houses and stealing and robbing. Those are home invasion robberies. Again, the Biden White House, do they care?
They don't seem to care, and I think these criminal rings understand exactly what they're doing. They use the federal tourist visa program that's very lenient towards certain countries like Chile, Peru, Ecuador. What they're doing is they're coming to states where they know there won't be any bail requirement, that they're very lax. Some of these states that have got these prosecutors that won't enforce the law at all. For property crimes particularly, they won't stand jail, and they're going to have to, they're going to come in, rob, and with impunity fly back home.
Well, Senator Bill Hagerty, you are standing up. We hear it loud and clear. We appreciate you very much. We know it's tough. But keep telling the truth, Senator Hagerty. It's good to have you on.
Thanks, Liz.